So I'm very empowered by this, and I say to you, my brothers, flow with the vulnerability. And everybody, if you feel a love vibration for someone, no matter whether it's evident that you're going to get the full reciprocation that you want, put the love out there anyway. Because the gift of love to one individual is a gift of love to God, Goddess Absolute, unto the whole universe. And it's time that we know that. And it's time that we share our love full on and sacred guts on the table. I also cried some very delicious tears in that. And when I cried, I took a tear from each cheek and I tasted my tears as my gesture of accepting what I was feeling. Also, I have learned that tears are coded with information that gives you a greater understanding about what it is that you're feeling. So when you ingest your tears, you become more receptive to understanding the nature of what's being felt in that particular moment. And so I'm in a deep state of celebration about this, a deep state of love and appreciation, a deep state of love for you. Before starting this live video, I roll my astro dice to see what is the message I want to bring forth, and I roll Neptune in Gemini in the 5th house, which is very interesting because Neptune is the planet that is the greatest exemplification of vulnerability. It's also that which relates to the intangibility of life, the formlessness of life. So in this message, it's also important for us to be in a higher appreciation for the formless blessings that we encounter, even before they come into manifestation within form. Because formlessness gives birth to form. And that's what Neptune in Gemini is saying. Also, Neptune in Gemini is saying that it's time to communicate Gemini, those expansive, vulnerable, and very inward things about ourselves. Neptune. And the 5th house is the house of romantic expression. It's also the house of creative expression and the house of the child. So we're meant to make space for this inner child to come through. Because the things I know about what I think. Or no, that's the other poem. The little elder, adults are the offspring of the child. Let us ponder this a while. When we arrived upon this earth, were we grown up, or did the child come first? Adult that I have come to be is offspring of the child in me. Who can tell the total truth without the purity of youth? Who has fun in all they do and to their feelings, oh, so true? Who can ride upon the wind, whose growing is a constant trend, who faces life with open arms, and whose is the most irresistible charm? Who is first to forgive, who truly lives and lets live, and who has love for the stranger, till programmed with the fear of danger. The child within shall never die, the greatest truth of you and I, growing up is never done till everyone's elder is the little one. So let us ponder this a while. The blueprint of heaven is in the heart of the child. I also pulled from the tarot, I pulled the sun. And interestingly enough, the sun is a card wherein there's a little child riding a white horse. And the sun is also a card that represents godhood. And there is a great power in being in the awareness that childhood and godhood are synonymous. One of the fastest routes to tapping into our inner godhood is by tapping into our inner childhood. That's why the inner child is the little elder. And then the last card I pulled was the Emperor. And the Emperor was saying to me to be a wonderful exemplification of father, of royalty, of king. All of these expressions, the Emperor represents that royal something that exists within all of us and that part of us who can take the sacred initiative. So I'm going to conclude this with a transmission with the didgeridoo. When I play my didgeridoo, I want you to focus upon really opening up to your empowerment that is available to you by way of being on wings of your vulnerability. And we come to recognize that vulnerability is the naked truth and the sacred truth, that part of us that doesn't lie and doesn't hide. And so there is an enormous power in the vulnerability. I call it sacred guts on the table. So let me grab this didgeridoo, and I want you to breathe and focus upon the moment of creation, the moment that the universe was being brought forth by God, Goddess Absolute, and all of the juiciness, all of the power, all of the love, all of the wisdom that was felt by Creator in the bringing forth of this universe. And let us bring it into harmonic convergence with this now memoration of our now moment, and give all of the power of the creation of the universe to the manifestation of our own individualized and personalized dreams and intentions. I appreciate you. Thank you, beloved Creator, God, Goddess, Absolute. Thank you for the wisdom of our being in the honoring of our sacred vulnerability, that we would take flight through our vulnerability. We thank you so much for having activated within us the presence of mind and heart to come home to the absoluteness of who and what we really are. Thank you so much beloveds, all of you beloveds, for remembering who you are. Thank you for loving yourself with the passion of heaven, loving yourself with the self-loving power of God, Goddess Absolute. Thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact upon the expansion of life, and life is better by virtue of the offering of the selfhood that you are, that selfhood which is your own version of the whole universe. Thank you for loving on yourself. Appreciate loving you, appreciate loving life, appreciate loving your creator, and appreciate loving even those who stumble and fall and make mistakes and run amok. Thanks be unto all of us who remember to hold that resonance of redemption and the possibility of redemption for every being in the whole of existence. Love you so much. I honor who you are, and I hold the vision of you being in the eternal honoring of that beautiful resonance that you are. I am Astarius Miraculii. Thank you so much for visiting my website, Astarius.com, partaking of my music albums, for I have a great many, and my books, I have 2. Thank you for all of this. Thank you for championing life, and thank you for championing yourself. Ashe. Amen. Namaste. Hotepin Lakesh. Alakin Shalom. Divine Creator, Source on high, we call you into resonance with this sacred moment to facilitate us in the bringing forth of this subject on wings of vulnerability. We invite you, ascended host, every angel and every ascended master, and every resonant of our own ascended master self, from beginningless beginning to endless end, to presence with us. Peace and blessings, beloveds. I see a lot of you wonderful ones out there. I am Astarius Miraculii, loving you with the passion of heaven and bringing you this subject today on wings of vulnerability, because our sacred vulnerability is a means by which we are able to take flight, a means by which we are able to take sacred flight. And vulnerability gets a bad rap. We run away from our tears, we run away from our deep feelings. And in that running, we are running away from the authenticity